Hello. Welcome everybody to Saturday. Yay, Saturday
Nice.
EGX. That is a better reception than I expected this early on a Saturday. So we've got a packed lineup for you all today. Again, on the PlayStation stage, there'll be members of PlayStation Access, on and off, sometimes as a 4, sometimes as a 2, sometimes as a 1, as I am now. What we're going to start off Saturday with, we have Ride 3 on PlayStation 4. I am joined by Frederico and Ricardo from Milestone. Yep. You're going to be talking me through it. I've been really honest with you this morning. I don't know that much about motorsports, but luckily you're here to chat us through what I have seen. Looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if you want to go ahead and just kind of describe the first, we've loaded up the first track that we've got here today.
Yeah, so we're having a look at Garda Lake. It's one of the tracks that you will have inside the game. We have more than 30 tracks, divided in many different categories. So here we can have like a country track. So the cool thing about Garda Lake is the fact that was a sort of combination of like scanning with the drone and like design that we had inside our company. Yes. So to give you the feel of the real track, combined with the experience of having like a smooth gameplay and a really fun gameplay, right?
Yeah, you were telling me this is one of your stages, right? This is one that you've designed.
It's one of the tracks that I actually helped. I was helped by the other teammates of course, in the company, but like I designed this track as well.
And as a location, this is one of your favorites?
It's one of my favorite, yes, exactly. So this is set beside the Garda Lake in Italy.
Yeah.
It's a really nice location. In fact, it was used even in Quantum of Solace, James Bond movie.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been on holiday to Lake Garda.
As you can see here, there is a nice landscape that you can actually, go at full speed right now. My colleague here, Ricardo, is actually going through this section, which is really cool because you can pass inside these galleries and you can actually feel how we step up our game using a real engine. We decided to go for more realism. Even in terms of like audio and music here, you can see, you can actually hear how the roar of the engine changes inside this, enclosure.
Oh, okay. So as you go through tunnels.
Yeah.
And actually, the move to Unreal was one of the things that we were discussing. So you guys were using on Ride 2, you were explaining that you had a proprietary system that you guys had developed.
Yeah.
And you've obviously done a lot of work porting everything over to Unreal, but also you were talking about how the results are kind of really worth it, right?
Yeah, we were really happy with what we have right now. We're still actually, as you can see here, it's a work in progress, but we're already confident that the final product will be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
We're putting a lot of effort in making Ride 3 actually the best motorbike games out there.
Yeah. And can you explain to us kind of what an effort? Because I think that people read or hear about, hey, we ported our game into Unreal. And I have no idea how much work that is, but I guess it's a lot, man.
Well, since we decided to use Unreal, we decided to completely create our game from ground zero, right? So we decided to start from the bottom of the engine and then build up in order to have completely new assets, in order to have these amazing landscape that my colleague is riding through. And these allowed us a lot of like liberty to create what we want. So that's really amazing. We had like new motorbikes models, and in fact, like in the final game, we're gonna have more than 230 bikes just in the moment in which the game launches, and then.
Can we just talk about the rewind mechanic? Because we were just talking about that. I didn't realize this was in your game.
Actually, I took the break too late, so I'm just rewinding. And with the rewind feature, you can manipulate the time as you wish. So it's like a bullet time feature, which you can use to, it's a very hard turn, that one. And
it's your fault, man.
You can change the time in the game, and as you can see, the AI and everything in the game remain consistent at that time.
This is the kind of feature I need in a racing game if I'm going to play it.
Yeah, in fact, like the cool thing about these kind of mechanics, and as you can see, the ideal trajectory that is set on the ground, is the fact that Ride 3 is not only for players who want like a simulation game, but can be picked up by anyone. It's easy to learn, but hard to master, because as you actually stop using these aids, the game will get harder. You can change the physics as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can go for full simulation mode, but then anyone can pick up the game and like start learning, which is really amazing. Like you learn how to face a track, you learn how to brake, you learn a lot of stuff that you will be able to use later.
I know I want to chat to you more about the simulation in a second, but just as we're leaving Lake Garda, one of the things you said earlier really struck me, which was taking that blend of what's really there, and some of those roads are incredibly narrow, and then you having to kind of adapt it to make it kind of a fun gameplay experience. So you can just kind of, what were you doing to Lake Garda to make it kind of more fun to play?
Absolutely. So this kind of process is like trying to adapt the track, because it's not only having an exact reproduction of like what's reality, but since it's a game, you have to listen to players' feedback, and you have to kind of understand what they want. So if the track is too narrow, they won't be able to drive.
Yeah.
So you have to make like tough decisions in order to understand what's best for the players.
A blend of both.
Yeah.
And what can you explain to us? Oh, of course, we're in.
Yeah,
Brands Hatch,
absolutely.
so
It's Brands
raining.
Hatch. It's in the UK, so I kinda.
Here comes the rain.
Yeah, right. So this is another kind of track that we have in the game. This is like official one.
Right.
So
okay.
differently from what we had before, which is like a country one.
Yeah.
So this one, it's gonna be official. So it's one-to-one to reality.
Okay.
We use drone scanning as well. So this allowed us like complete, like what you're driving here is exactly the track in real life, right?
Does it always rain in Brands Hatch in your game, or is this
No, absolutely.
Okay.
This is a feature of our game. We can actually change the weather as we like.
Right.
So we wanted to showcase you that in fact you can drive with different weather conditions, which makes the game cooler, because obviously rain adds a difficulty in terms of like wetness of the track and handling and this kind of stuff, right?
Sure.
So my colleague will actually have to follow more strictly the guidance here to help him go from one bend to another.
This is so cool, because Brands Hatch, even though like I said, I'm not huge into motorsport, but I've played enough that this track is still, the first few turns at least before I get fed up, are quite familiar to me. That's what I would be doing normally.
It's slippery, as you can see here. Yeah, the grass is slippery.
The grass is very slippery.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of my questions for you earlier on, like I said, I wanted to kind of return to kind of what level of hardcore your game is pitched to, and you're kind of saying, you're kind of aiming for everybody to be able to pick it up and play.
Yeah.
But you've built in a system where you can go from, that kind of learning how to do it with the aids and the rewinds, but then you can get up to more of a kind of full-on simulation. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is that we wanted to create a game that was that could be played by anyone, but that doesn't mean that can be played by pro players, or like people who really want to take a challenge.
Yeah.
So if, for example, right now Ricardo is just using the guidance for the every turn of the track.
Okay.
But he could have used like a more powerful guidance.
Like full racing line.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, gotcha.
That will show you all the racing lines inside the game.
Right.
So in this way, if you just pick up the game and you have any idea of like how a racing game works, you will be able to learn, and then you will feel like growing inside the game.
Yeah.
And you will actually be able to play then at full simulation mode with no aids, no help, anything.
Eventually, maybe. I can only dream.
Yeah.
So what are we doing on? This is time trial mode, is that right?
Yeah. So right now Ricardo is playing time attack. So in this game mode, you will be able to test your abilities and try to set a new high score, like a better time actually, that can be even uploaded online. So you will
I was going to ask you kind of about online functionality, and I guess it begins with leaderboards.
Yeah. So we have like leaderboards as well, but the cool thing is that we have a multiplayer mode that will allow up to 12 players to compete online, right?
Sure, yeah.
And another cool feature is that we don't only just have this kind of competition online feature, we have other stuff that players can do online.
Okay.
So another cool stuff of Ride 3 is that we introduced this new feature, which is the Livery Editor.
Yes, you were talking about this.
So Livery Editor is really cool because allow players to create their own custom liveries.
Yes.
And then apply them to a bike.
Okay.
So with Ride 3, we decided to introduce a lot of customization of bikes. It's one of the core things that we wanted to show.
Yeah.
So we have more than 500
That was the
part.
number that got me, man. Yeah, when
Yeah.
everyone talks about kind of customization modes, you're like, yeah, I'm going to be able to put a new hat on my guy. But
Yeah.
yeah, 500 points of differentiation. That's
Yeah, you can exactly, like, for example, if you own a bike and the bike is in the game,
Yeah.
you can probably exactly create the same bike you have at home, so you can ride it inside the game.
Right,
Because
okay.
we have like 500 customization parts, right?
Yeah, of course.
And the cool thing is that you have your own bike, you create your own livery, but maybe since you can upload your livery online and other players can download it and use it,
Sure.
you will be able to face someone who actually, I don't know, downloaded it and placed it on his bike.
They're stalking.
It's it's cool, right?
Yeah,
you
of
see
course,
somebody
yeah.
else using what you did, which is
Or if you want to have, your friends want to have all the same livery.
Yeah,
Wanna
absolutely.
you could be in a motorbike gang, you know?
you create your own team with your own livery.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh man, okay, cool. And in terms of kind of we're talking about kind of different modes, and again, I was kind of asking you earlier on the meat of the game. If I'm at home, I've got the online modes, but the main thing that's going to kind of get me to come home at the end of a working day and stick this game on, and I'm guessing that's like your career mode, right?
Yeah, we have actually a career mode. It's completely revamped.
Yeah.
So with this career, we decided to actually show the history of motorbikes.
Right.
So it's a sort of like magazine career based on magazines. So each magazine will focus on a particular bike
Okay.
and time. So
Right.
we have like a lot of different bikes. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have so they go back even to the 70s.
Right.
So players will be able to feel and with the entire history of motorbikes during
that.
the career.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we were talking about this earlier on, and just the idea that, racing is, you can do good racing, and it's
Yeah.
fun. You can go online and compete with your friends, but people who are kind of really into a game like Ride 3, they're going to want to soak up kind of the history of motorsports at the
Yeah,
same time.
absolutely.
It's wicked that you're kind of able to bring that into your career mode. Can you explain what we're about to see?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ricardo here is setting up a new race in Macau.
Okay.
So another cool stuff that we were unable to do with Unreal Engine is actually introducing nighttime tracks.
Cool.
So Macau
Make
is
it
one
harder
of
for
them.
me. Thank
Yeah.
you. And if say an idiot didn't know what Macau was,
Yeah.
how would you explain that to them?
So Macau is a city track, so
Right.
it's set inside a city,
Right. Okay.
right? And
Are we talking? I mean, where is it in the world?
Macau is in Asia.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So
Yeah.
here's the cool
we're
thing.
talking a really low base of knowledge. For me
No,
here,
it's fine.
so-
It's fine. Absolutely. So as you can see here, Ricardo is playing time attack mode. So at the beginning, the motorbike is controlled by AI, but when the counter goes to 0, he's now using the bike himself.
Okay.
So the cool thing about Macau is that we were enabled through the game engine to create this amazing track with like lights everywhere. It's nighttime,
Okay.
but as you can see, the city is full of life. It's full of lights that you can actually see.
Yeah. And so
And-
is night racing completely new for Ride 3 for you guys? Is that?
Excuse me?
Is night racing? Is that
Yeah,
new for
no,
Ride 3?
yeah. Not all the tracks are enabled to be played with nighttime. For
Sure.
example, the official ones, they don't have any kind of external illumination, so
Right.
they can be played during nighttime.
So
but
that's why it's perfect for kind of a city track.
exactly. As you can see, a lot of lights.
The
This is
reflections.
reflecting on the ground,
Oh,
in
man.
the water, on the ground as well.
Yeah. No, it looks beautiful.
And it's a really, really peculiar track because here you can see how cool it is. This is the photo mode.
We did not talk about photo mode.
Yeah,
I
this
love
is-
a photo
It was a
mode.
surprise.
Yeah.
So photo mode is really amazing because you can actually stop and pause the game
Yeah.
and be able to go around the bike and show how it looks
how
like.
close can we
Yeah,
get?
yeah,
What
we
I
can
love
go
is
like- we
a
can go
really
pretty
tight
close.
corner, really close to the asphalt, with
Yeah.
some reflections going on.
And you can actually save them, so you will be able to look at them later.
This is my kind
take
of
a
game.
picture
Okay.
and everything. Yeah. So this is really cool because you can actually, if you're making like a nice turn, you can just stop the game, pause it, take a nice picture as he does. We have a lot of options.
With your custom livery as well, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So we can show them another part of the track
Yeah.
here, which is really cool. As you can see here, this is like a narrow passage inside the city, and it's
Okay.
really cool because actually in this track, lights, all the lights that you see around the tracks are guiding you. So you already have a kind of idea where you're going. Right now you can see the lights of this building on the left side, and then you have the full moon guiding you as
Gotcha.
well. Obviously my colleague is actually following
the aids.
race lines.
But this is kind of like, this is like a game design kind of
Yeah.
challenge for you, right?
Absolutely. When you design these kind of tracks, you want to be sure that the player kind of understands as easy as possible in the fastest way where he has to go.
Signposting, yeah.
Yeah,
Environmental.
absolutely.
Oh, the moon looks great.
And this is really cool because it's actually a narrow track. It's more technical.
Right.
So we have a lot of different tracks, as I said before. We're like more than 30
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. And the thing is cool that you can actually choose a lot of tracks and like try to find the best one, the one that you like the most. Maybe a more technical one, a more fast one. It's up to you because you have so many choices to make that you can actually tailor the game around you.
And this is narrow, but this is a track that you can do kind of full races on, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We have right now time attack mode just because like it's easier for us to showcase what's inside.
Yeah.
But like it's
That's
really
gonna get
cool
crowded,
because,
man.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with AI, since we completely revamped the AI system, even if the track is narrow, the AI will be able to compete with you like at good levels.
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay.
So it's really hard. Like you can, if you want, the AI can be really, really hard to beat.
I was going to say, is it aggressive? Like
It can be. It depends on like which level you set. But you can go from like an easier one, which allow you, to make even difficult overtakes.
Sure. Okay.
But then at difficult levels, it's realistic. I mean, but it can be aggressive depending on the style you want to use inside the game.
And this as well, I asked you about cameras earlier on, and this one really does give you that kind of sense of speed, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Cockpit View.
Yeah.
So it's like being in the first person, so it's actually like riding a real bike. As you can see, the camera changes, like slowly pans from left to right, depending on which kind of turns my colleague is taking right now. And it's really immersive.
Yeah.
Like you can actually feel like you're driving. You can see the sense of speed because all the lights going fast, both on the ground and even these vertical elements that will allow you to get a better sense of speed.
Sure, no, it's a perfect track to go first person.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit scary actually.
This is like
the tunnel vision going, and then
it's like 2001. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Oh man. So I think this is the final track we're going to be taking a look at. And you mentioned to me earlier on something I didn't realise, which was that Ride is a current world record holder.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Ride series, and it's maybe a record that isn't going to last that much longer.
No, yeah, exactly. Because last year, Ride 2 won the World Guinness Best Records for the highest amount of bikes inside the game.
Yeah.
So with Ride 3, this world record will be shattered by us again.
It's always good to beat your own record rather than have someone else do it, isn't it?
Yeah, so the cool thing is that actually, as I mentioned before, there will be more than 230 bikes inside the game.
Yeah.
But then with the post-launch support that we're gonna have for Ride 3, there will be DLCs.
Of course.
And there are gonna be more than 300.
Man, okay.
So a lot of bikes that you can choose from.
Cool. You're going to have to get in touch with Guinness and explain to them exactly what's going on.
Yeah, hopefully we get the Guinness again though.
Oh man, that's awesome. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on just before we kind of say goodbye to the stream? Well, what you want to get across about your game? Because I know there's tons in there that we haven't covered.
Yeah.
I do like a good crash.
Well, absolutely. So another thing that I want to actually mention is the fact that we're gonna have 7 bike categories, and one of these ones is completely new.
Okay.
So players will just have all the past, glories, but then we're gonna have new bikes, so that we'll be able to actually ride exactly what they want.
Yeah. Okay.
And feel the game in a really unique way, and have the game built around them.
And I guess the kind of takeaway that I got from chatting to you earlier on was just the kind of, the scale of the thing that you guys have gone and built. Like the customization will give you this kind of endless depth to making you look exactly how you want, and you've got the, the massive number of bikes in there, and then like tons and tons of tracks, even if I'm only ever going to play on Brands Hatch because I know it already.
Yeah.
No, the game looks massive. And can you tell us when you guys are aiming for release?
Yeah, the game is going to be released on the 30th of November.
Yep.
So
very soon.
Get it.
Yeah, man. Well, coming up very soon.
Yeah,
and I think I'm trying to time this so that we finish a lap, because then I'll just feel like I've done a really good job.
Yeah,
am I right? Are we nearly at the end of the lap?
Yeah,
nailed it.
As you can see, 200 kilometers per hour.
This is bam.
Bam.
Is this the last corner?
Yeah. Perfect.
Beautiful. Amazing. All right, well, guys, thank you for joining us Saturday morning. EGX, can we have a round of applause for the guys from Milestone today for showing
you.
us Ride
Thank
3?
you.
What is next, I believe, there's nothing, I was hoping that the schedule was on the screen behind me, but it's not. I believe what's coming up next on the stream, if you're watching on the stream, is Holly playing Life is Strange 2. But we will be back on stage very shortly after lunchtime with some more cool stuff, is all I can remember. So thank you very much for watching this, and we will see you guys later on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the players.